Good morning, Live Oak Church. We are in Proverbs 5, continuing to look at each proverb of the day and go, what wisdom does it have for us today? And this entire chapter is the wisdom of avoiding adultery. And if we wanted to even take the imagery he uses, he's specifically talking about adultery, but we could even take that image and say the wisdom of avoiding those temptations that are not yours, satisfying them that outside of yourself. And so focusing on what is yours. So he starts off in verse 1 saying, my son, be attentive to wisdom, incline your ear to my understanding, that you may keep discretion, that your lips may guard knowledge. And so listen to me. I'm about to give you wisdom, and you're going to be glad for this. And then he describes this tempting woman. Now, we often think, oh, it's like a harlot or something like that, and it doesn't have to be, but it's a woman that's not his wife, and you are drawn to her in the description here. And there seems to be something very attractive about her. You are attracted to her. And he's like, avoid it. Avoid it. It's unwise. And the result is going to be bad, not good. In fact, he says in verse 7 or 9, lest you give your honor to others, so you're going to lose your honor, and your years to the merciless. Not only are you going to lose your honor, but people are not going to feel inclined to extend to you mercy or grace because you're a person that is not honorable. You've lost that honor. So you're not going to receive mercy and grace from people. And then he says, and strangers will take their fill of your strength, and your labors will go to the household of another. And what he ends up doing is saying, and when you're old, when your body is consumed there in verse 11, you're going to be filled with regret. And you're going to look back. In verse 13, he says, or in verse 12, he says, and you're going to look back and say, how I hated discipline and my heart despised reproof. I did not listen to the voice of my teachers or incline my ear to my instructors. So he's going to say, you're looking back and you're thinking of a younger self, a younger you, and going, why didn't I listen? And why didn't I discipline myself to focus on what is mine and to not think on what is not mine? I didn't listen. I knew, I'd been told that I shouldn't do that, and I didn't listen. And that so often is what happened. We work out in our own mind why it's okay and why for some reason it's going to turn out okay for us. And he's going, no, don't do that. You're going to regret it if you do. And then instead what he should do, and he uses some incredible language here of a spring and how you can drink. You don't look at somebody else's spring and try to drink water out of their spring or their well. You look to what is yours and drink water there. And so he says there in verse 15, drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Verse 16, should your springs be scattered abroad, streams of water in the streets? In other words, you don't want your wife, if they're here speaking to a man, but you don't want your spouse going out, being with a bunch of other people. That's not right either. That shouldn't happen. You don't want that. Instead, he says, let them be for yourself alone and not for strangers with you. So you let your wife be for you alone. It's not for anybody else. It's for you. So therefore, verse 18, let your fountain be blessed and rejoice in the wife of your youth. A lovely deer, a graceful doe. Let her breast fill you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in her love. Why should you be intoxicated, my son, with a forbidden woman and embrace the bosom of an adulteress? And so he's making the point. You keep your mind and your focus on your wife and always make sure you are intoxicated by her. And if you're not intoxicated by her, then become intoxicated by her. Solve that problem. But the answer is not to look outward. The answer is, I'm going to drink from my own well. I'm going to find delight in my own wife. and I'm going to remember the love that I had for her, and I'm always going to see her as the wife of my youth, and I'm going to let that love grow. And I will discipline myself, not letting myself think of any other. This is wisdom. And how many marriages and how many problems in marriage could be saved if we would just settle in our mind, I'm not going down the road of forbidden fruit. I'm going to drink from my own well, as the man of wisdom says.